What's up, baby? Hello. I know we just met, do we have to take it slow though? I like a little bit of everything. I promise I won't do nothing that you want, too embarrassed to admit it. You need in your life, I would not think twice to make you feel nice, create paradise. If I spend the night, I'll break you off right. All I need is that green light. So invite me to your crib, hey. Well, I will bring my magic fingertips. Say maybe I could run them up and down the whole like the Abati until you bust a nut. Or we could order Uber Eats and hit the backwood, and after dinner get them cheeks clapping real good. I'm bringing nothing but the heat if you invite me to your crib, yeah. I take your socks off slow. I ball one up and put it inside of my asshole, cause I'm a sucker for that freak shit. I'm on some real G shit. You get a taste and you will never go back to the way things were when you were so damn insecure. You've always had a freak in you, and you just needed that green light. So invite me to your crib, hey. Well, I will bring my magic fingertips. Saying maybe I could run them up and down the whole like the Abati until you bust a nut. Or we could order Uber Eats and hit the backwood, and after dinner get them cheeks clapping real good. I'm bringing nothing but the heat if you invite me to your crib, yeah. I waited so long to find my other half. Then you let me snort Cheeto dust off your ass, and I knew right there that my search was over, because I found you. Cause you invited me to your crib, ay, and I brought my magic fingertips. Say I ran those motherfuckers up and down the whole like the Abati, and made you bust a, ooh. Then we ordered Uber Eats and hit the backwood, and after dinner I got them cheeks clapping real good. You know I'm only bringing heat when you invite me to your crib, yeah. So invite me to your crib, hey. Well, I will bring my magic fingertips. Say maybe I could run them up and down the whole like the Abati and make you bust a nut. Or we could order Uber Eats and hit the backwood, and after dinner get them cheeks clapping real good. I'm bringing nothing but the heat if you invite me to your crib, yeah. You know I'm only bringing heat when you invite me to your crib, I'll probably finish on your feet next time I'm over at your crib,
Yeah. Hey man, you ever felt unstoppable? That's the team, right? I said, welcome to the new world. Welcome to the new world. Hey, yo, John got it.
What if I told you I was super bad and ain't no grade gon' hold me down, and I put that on Johnny Cash. Twisted up a blunt, flying high like each and every night.
Well, welcome in. It is a fun day Friday. Man, what a week for Peepaw. Peepaw has had a week and a half this week. Not just work related, but just all encompassing. I mean, I just have had a week, man. And we're going to get into it. I've got a lot of stories to tell, and, I love to talk, and I don't always get to say a whole lot, on different places that I'm in, but this is my space and my time, and I appreciate you being here with me. And, so I guess we'll just, kind of get right into it, right? First of all, let's welcome in some people here. We got Orson. Orson says, happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you too, my brother. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Yaji says, hello, everyone. And this is his first time catching Peepaw live. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're able to catch me live, brother. So, anyway, I guess we'll just kind of get right into it, and we'll cover some, unfortunately, we're going to have to cover some sad news right off the bat. The actor Robbie Coltrane, who probably by most of my audience would know him as he played Haggard in the Harry Potter series, passed away today. He was 72 years old. You hate to see people pass away, especially beloved actors and who played beloved characters in series that I'm sure a lot of you guys grew up with. And I remember taking my youngsters to the movies to see these, and and I think there was maybe even a time or two they drugged me out to like a midnight pre or showing or whatever, because they always have these late night shows or whatever. And I can remember a time or two when they've been dragging me out to see that. And but to his fans and his family and friends, we send our condolences, and hope that he can rest in peace. This one here is a little bit. Hang on here. Let me do it this way here. This one here is a little bit closer to home. This is Tony Winchester. He was better probably known as R.S. Glory and Gold. He was a older gentleman, and after he retired from working, he started streaming over on Twitch, and he played RuneScape, and he had a little bit of a run-in with Keemstar, and they had their battles back and forth. I even covered it on my channel, a couple of 2 or 3 videos or whatever. I didn't always agree with Tony's interpretation or his views on things, and the timeline and things that happened or whatever. I didn't always agree with him on that. A lot of times I felt like he was just kind of more or less playing the game, or doing the YouTube thing, or whatever you want to call it, right? But nonetheless, he had pretty good success on Twitch and YouTube, and I know a lot of people today are saddened by his passing. His family, of course, his friends, several large YouTubers like Scarce, H3H3, Ice Poseidon, and even Keemstar have all sent their condolences to Tony, or Tony's family rather, and so you just kind of hate to see things like that. But as someone who lost my father, died from cancer, it's a horrible disease, and sadly, it's not just the person that's going through it or dealing with it. It's the family members as well. And so, I hope Tony finds peace. I hope his family is comforted in this time, and I wish them all the best. But anyway, so going on to, and this is kind of one of these deals that's hard to transition, right? So how do you talk about these two horrible events, and then how do we transition to a little bit more lighter? Because I want to have some fun today. I want to talk and share some really good stories and stuff with you. And I think probably the only way to do that is probably let's celebrate with Chris. The narc? What do you say? So today was Chris's official last day, his current position, and his boss, being the rock star of a boss that he is, gets Chris a bottle of Jack Daniels so he can celebrate tonight. But Chris is moving on. He's become the producer for the Keemstar show, and I don't know what all else he's going to be doing with Savo and Chris, or Savo and Keemstar, but I'm just tickled to death for him. I think Chris the Narc is just an awesome young man, and I think he has an extremely bright future. And I can't wait to see where everything, just where all this path is going to lead him. but I think he has a head for this stuff. I think he definitely has it doesn't help that he's easy on the eyes, and I think I think he has a future here. Um, like I said, I'm just kind of proud of that whole situation with Chris, and hope he does well. Um, there's been a story that's been percolating, and I think it's kind of maybe died down a little bit until Mizkiff came back, and I guess his first stream back and stuff, he kind of really kind of stepped into it, right? I guess he kind of just like, I don't know, man. Just I guess you'd call it like stepped in a big pile of just stinky, dog shit. Um, Made a couple of little comments, statements, and other people's covered that and everything like that, right? And I happened to cross this tweet, and this tweet was kind of interesting. It's from a user by the name of Ayumi Nini, I guess is how you say that. But she says Miss Kiff called himself the master of cover-ups for 4 years. I wonder how long he can cover up my assault from PAX East 2019. Smile, a little smile emoji, whatever, sticking out tongue and a heart. And she says, I'm not going to keep this on my profile for long, but just long enough for the right people to see. Well, I'm not for sure exactly what all that means. I really don't know this user. So when I went out and started looking at into this a little bit, she has her Twitter account protected, so we can't really see what's going on there. But she did have a link, whatever you want to call all my links thing or whatever, what have you, that kind of stuff. And anyway, when you click on that, it brings up this. So she, her Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, a wish list rather, thing where you can directly Cash App her. She has evidently a Fansly and a OnlyFans thing. I did look over at her Twitch account, and she has 9K followers over there. And I'm trying to look here to see. Let's see, no videos are found, so I don't know if like she takes her videos down after she's through with it. It doesn't say. I can't find anywhere like when was the last time she streamed or anything like that. So I'm not for sure exactly what's going on there. But that's something we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on to see if there's anything that's going to develop out of that, or what exactly is happening. The last little bit of news, I guess I'm going to kind of get into, before I get into the whole Boogie story and me and what things happened there, is I woke up this morning and I seen this tweet from Tommy C. and it says Matt fucked up, and he was quote tweeting a tweet here from the DM King. Says, I just checked the docket and the case is still pending. The last 2 documents filed was Keem's motion to dismiss, filed last Monday, and Def's memorandum in opposition, filed Tuesday. You were sent those documents in your email box. And so anyway, when Tommy C. quote tweeted this and said Matt fucked up, DM King comes back, says apparently there's a lot of people who are misunderstanding the documents filed in the case. I see that Keemstar is on the trending list because of this misunderstanding. Tommy says, I know you sent me everything days ago. I got an update and it was false, hence the fuck up. So Alonar, the anti-bully, comes in and says, let's make this a quote. And so we got us a quote, says Matt fucked up. So I thought that was kind of funny, whatever, right? So anyway, I was like, okay, so what's going on here, right? So then Matt quote tweets and says, it's Paige Christie's fault. And I'm like, what? What's going on here, right? And so anyway, I went out here and tried to go to the old Deaf Noodles thing, Twitter page, and Peepaw was blocked. I'm like, what the hair? What? I haven't said anything. I don't think. I don't think I've tweeted at him. I don't believe I've done anything. I don't believe I've streamed about him or anything like that. So, I'm like, what's going on here, right? And so anyway, luckily for Peepaw, he has other channels and avenues to get stuff. But what he was talking about here, I guess evidently there were some people putting out some information over the evening saying that I guess this defamation lawsuit against Keemstar had been dropped or dismissed rather. And so Deaf Noodle says the defamation lawsuit against Keemstar has not been dismissed. In fact, the judge recently denied Keemstar's first request for dismissal, and we filed a response to Keemstar's second request for dismissal 2 days ago, and it has a little thing here. And so if we click here and pop that out, and it says here that, and sure enough, what Def is saying is that, let me shrink that down just a little bit. I don't know if it, well, I don't know. Anyway, trying to get to where you guys can see it on the stream here a little bit better. Let's see here. What do I have up? Here, if I go this here, underneath, okay. So I'll kind of drag this a little bit here, kind of where you can see it. Let me shrink this down here a little bit because it's interfering a little bit with and like that. There we go. Okay. So anyway, we just kind of, I don't know, I can't, well, that's not going to work. So anyway, it says here, I'll just read guys what it says. Anyway, it says, this was from Tuesday, September 27th, 2022, says, text order hereby is ordered that defendant's first 7 motion to dismiss is denied. Defendant, that would be Keemstar, is denied, is moot, given plaintiff's subsequent filing of an 11th Amendment complaint, see Petaway versus National Recovery Souls, LLC, and has case there, number. Plaintiff's response to defendant's second 12 motion to dismiss is due on October 11th, 2022. And defendant's reply, if any, is due on October 18th. Oral arguments will be scheduled by the court if necessary, so ordered, and then issued by this judge here. And so, and you can see here that I guess Keemstar's lawyers did respond. And it says here, memorandum opposition to motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, amended complaint, motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, amended complaint filed by Dennis Fatoza. Then it has, I guess that's his attorney there that's filing for him. Now, I wasn't able to get those actual documents, and if I did get them, who knows? I don't know if I would necessarily be able to decipher what was said or in those, because I'm not a lawyer, right? But what I'm hoping is that one of the LawTube communities, like Nick Rakita or Emily, what's her name? Anyway, there's several different LawTube lawyers out there, or YouTube lawyers that have YouTube channels. I'm hoping they'll pick this up and we'll cover it and go over some of these legal briefs and explain it to where us average viewers or whatever can understand it, whatever. So this afternoon or midday, I guess you would say, Salvo did his show that he does, And he announced on there the winner of the raffle part, I guess you would call it, for lack of a better words, of the donations and stuff for the latest Fireball. And he announced the total amount of money of donations. And I was negligent and didn't write the total amount down. But I want to think it was around 300, a little over $300, I think was what was the total donations for the night. And so I know Jessica Pizzo and her teammate, Repzilla, will get half of that. The person from the chat that donated will get 30% of that. And then 20% of it's actually going to the channel itself. Well, so they put all the donators, and, they put their name in the little tumbler, whatever. And, based on, so like if you donated $5, you would get 5 entries into the raffle, whatever. Right. And so they spun the little raffle thing, what have you. And Jessica Pizzo won. So not only did she win Fireball, but she's also getting the chats portion, or another additional 30% of the donations that night. And Matt Pitt quote tweeted me saying, "You got to be kidding me." And Toxic Piplup put out his feelings about it, said, "Salvo got Fireball more scripted than WWE." Which I thought was kind of funny. I did. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, so I guess let's just get into, what is this? Okay, so yeah, here we go. So let's just get into why everybody is here. Oh, thanks, Joy. I appreciate it. So let's get into why the whole reason for the stream today. So a couple of days ago, I did a video and I uploaded it to this channel, and it by far in the history of my channel was doing the best that I'd ever had performance wise on this channel. It had gotten almost 300 views in under 24 hours. And I was like, holy smokes. And I was really taken aback by it. And what prompted me to make this video was there was, I guess, going back and looking at the video, I could see where people could come across or could take away from the video that I was mad or I was angry at Boogie. Let me set the record straight here officially. I was never mad, nor was I ever angry at Boogie. What I was disappointed. I was disappointed because when I first brought the quality of the t-shirt to Boogie's attention, he did quickly get back. He quickly responded to my tweet and said that, he said that he hadn't gotten a test print and that shirt was going to be taken down soon anyways. Whatever that means, or for whatever, that the shirt was going to be going down anyway. And so, and I was like, okay. And I thought, well, all right. But there was no response as far as what to do or any type of rectifying what I felt was, anyway. So then he turns around and quote tweets my tweet in the picture of the shirt. And he says to let him know, if anybody, if you got this, let him, got one of these shirts, you weren't happy, let him know that he was in contact with his merch store, and they were looking at ways to make good on it. Okay. So anyway, some time passed. I don't know, a couple of 3 months, whatever it was. Time, I don't guess, is really all that important. And I reached out to Boogie again, and also on this time when I reached out to him via Twitter, and let me just say, I would have honestly, I'm being honest here, because the last thing I want to do is bring any type of pain and anguish in anybody's life. That's not what I'm really here about, or what I want to do. Um, I'm all for holding people accountable for bad actions or bad choices, or something of that nature, and in the hopes that they will hopefully, you know, um, take the criticism as constructive criticism and learn from it and move forward. But anyway, um, so like I said, I never heard anything from Boogie again, and then again, nothing. And so, as we all know, if you watched the video before I took it down, and yeah, I took the video down. I'm going to explain why. Um, um, he Boogie had made a video um, back about a year and a half or so, where he was talking about how all this money he made from the crypto, and then about a week or so ago, he made another video where he was talking about how he'd lost it all because of the crypto investment. Okay. And anyway, he was talking about one of the ways that subscribers or whatever, or supporters of his could do, was to buy shirts, and that he had good quality shirts. Well, that kind of rubbed me a little bit raw, and so uh, uh, so that's why I was prompted to make the video. I had talked to people about it, and no one. I'm not going to say they didn't care, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was like, okay, it was a little bit to me. So I was like, I've got a platform. It's not necessarily a large platform or a big platform, but I'm going to use my platform as I saw fit. So I made the video and put it out there, and like the day after I made the video, Boogie made a Twitter video, on talking about how, people were kind of coming at him about his, some of his videos lately about, about the money thing situation, all that stuff. Right. And about how people could buy shirts, whatever else. And he didn't name me, and I I'm not going to be so, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't think he saw my video. I'll put it that way. Okay. So I'm not going to sit there and be that kind of big headed or whatever. Right. So, but, anyway, I just replied to his tweet and said, hey Boogie, my DMs are open. I'm still wanting to talk. And, shortly thereafter, I started getting DMs from Boogie. He followed me on Twitter, and he started DMing me. And so Boogie and I started having a conversation in Twitter DMs. It was a little contentious at first, I will say. He was adamant about sending me to reimburse me for the money that I'd laid out on the shirt. I was not after reimbursement for money. I was not even at this point actually after a replacement for the shirt. Really, all I wanted to do was to have a conversation with Boogie, and I wanted to encourage him to maybe follow through with things. And one of the things that I learned through this process and talking with Boogie, because Boogie and I eventually wound up in a phone call. And the phone call lasted for a very long time, probably, I'm going to say close to an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour. I didn't really look at a timer or anything like that. And when we first started the phone call, it was kind of, and let me just say this. I don't for one second, blame Boogie for, being, one, I guess agitated or even, a little what's the word I'm looking for? Confrontational. Um, I don't blame him at all. I know that over the years that he has had so many detractors and he's had so many haters, come at him, even to the point where one of them, came to his house, and was harassing him. And because of choices that Boogie made, he's now a convicted felon. Um, so let me just pause for a second, take a drink, and read some of this chat, guys. So Joey says it was actually a funny video. I can't believe Boogie would send an awful product like that out. Well, he didn't. It was his vendor. The t-shirt looked awful. It was awful. Fat Wong says, great vid. Thanks. Joy says, it told me he doesn't care about his fans, Riv. He just cares about making money. I'm going to get into that a little bit and expand on that a little bit more here in a minute, Joy. Zero says, oh, that, yeah, okay, now I remember. Joy says, it is a big deal, though, Riv. Selling bad merch to people for profit is a scumbag thing to do. Okay, so okay, Zero, you didn't get to see the video? Okay. Joey says, I think Boogie is a bad person. That's my opinion. Well, he actually invited him to his house, Riv. Okay. So I'm kind of caught up on chat a little bit there. So let me address some of the things that were said in there. Yeah, he did invite him to his house. You're right, Joey. But here's the thing, guys. I think you guys know me well enough to know that I'm above board and honest about everything. And I'll say this, I may have been, naive going into this with Boogie in this conversation, but I'm going to take Boogie at his word. The vast majority of the conversation that I had with him on the phone, I will not divulge. I will never divulge it. I felt extremely way too personal. I haven't divulged it to anybody inside of my circles that I talk to, IRL, even my wife. I haven't even talked to my wife knows that I talked with Boogie, but she doesn't know, I didn't tell because some of the stuff that he said was, like I said, was very, very personal, and I don't feel like it's my place to tell it. And I quite honestly, and I don't know if Boogie will ever see this or not, but my advice to Boogie would be not to ever share it with anybody other than his counselors or therapists. And some have said, well, he told you that as a test to see, he's testing you to see if you're trustworthy or you like all these other people. Because one of the things that, that Boogie was adamant about was, I told him I was going to take the video down. He didn't want me to take the video down. He said, leave the video up. He said, matter of fact, he says, I want you to make a shit ton more videos on me. I want you to do that because that way you'll grow and you'll get views and all. And I tried to explain to Boogie, that's not who I am. And that's not how I operate. I am probably doing YouTube probably one of the most worst ways of doing it. I don't go after clout. Now, what do I like and enjoy having conversations with some of these bigger YouTubers? Yes, I do. Why? Because it gives me a chance to learn and to learn this whole medium. Some of the things that these guys do and some of the things that I don't think I can do. And I'm not saying that to be, crapping on them or anything like that. I'm just saying because of my, I don't know, just the way that I was raised, I can't do that. Um, but anyway, so this all may be a test, and he could have been telling me all this stuff just for pure manipulation to try to manipulate me, and fair enough point, it very well could have been. Hey, you know what? And if that's what he's doing, or if that's what he did, um, then quite frankly, the way I look at it, that's really about him and not about me. Because all I was trying to do was to extend an olive branch, or to be a friend. That's all I wanted. That's all I still want, and I'm hoping that this was the beginning, um, and not just a one time thing. I'm hoping that when it was all said and the conversation was all said and done, I'm hoping that Boogie came away from it with an understanding that I was not one of his detractors. I'm not one of the trolls or whatever that's going after him. One of the things that I firmly believe, and I believe this to my very, very core, men or women, it doesn't matter. You've got a person has to have, and I'm going to talk in the sense of a man because that's what I am, right? A man has got to have a inner circle of men around him that will hold him accountable, that will hold, that will, if you say you're going to do something, if you say you're going to do this or you're going to do that, they hold you accountable. They take you to task if you don't do it. Because I believe that is how, or that is one of the biggest thing that makes a man is being a person of their word. So if a person or if a man says, I'm going to do this, then that's something that you can count on. That's what he's going to do. I don't know who Boogie has in his life. I don't know the type of friends that he has around him. And I'm not going to judge them because I don't know them. I don't know the dynamics there. I don't know the relationships. I don't know these things. But my hope is that Boogie one of these days, and this is things with things about relationships. When so when Dave and I first started our friendship, he gave me shit because I called him an acquaintance. I think it kind of actually hurt his feelings a little bit. But I didn't call him an acquaintance to hurt his feelings. To me, when I call somebody a friend, it means that we've had time to get to know each other, that we've had time to spend to get to see the make of our jib, as they say, right? To see what type of person they are. Now, I am very proud to say that Dave is one of my. He's probably one within the top. I'm gonna say top 3 people who have an online presence that I consider. I mean, he's in that top 3. I mean, and if I'm telling the truth, he's probably actually in the top 2 that I trust for counsel on things, on how to do things and what to have. I mean, that's, and I'm hoping in time that maybe Boogie and I can get to where he will trust me enough to allow me in his inner circle, and that he will come to me, if nothing else, to vent, to know that I'm just a shoulder to lean on, if you will, because that's all I really want. Now, he was very, very adamant about refunding the money for the shirt. And I was very, very appreciative. I mean, it didn't matter to me, but I could tell that it was something that was something particularly important to him. So I did I did give him my PayPal information, and he did send me the money. Um, so what I am going to do with that money is I'm going to take that $41 and I'm going to donate it to the American Cancer Fund. And when I do get that done and everything, I'm going to post the receipts on Twitter and stuff, so you guys will all see it and everything like that, right? But because I gave Boogie the money to help somebody that I enjoy their content, to help them through a legal scrape, because that's what those shirts were for. And so I don't necessarily want the money back, and I still want the money to go for something good. So that's what I'm going to do with it. Anyway, what I know that Boogie is a very polarizing person, and I know people out there don't trust him, and they think he has, and maybe he does, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys are wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys not to trust your gut's feelings about this or whatever. And has Boogie done some things in the past that, is just insane, 100%, without a doubt, 100%. But I guess am an eternal optimist, and I honestly, and I told Boogie this in our conversation, is I truly do believe this. I believe that Boogie is a good person. Deep in his core, I believe he is a good person, and I believe that he does want to do good for people. And I don't know if he gets to hear that very often, but I wanted him to hear that, because I feel it's important that people receive praise and it be sincere. And I was sincere when I said it to him in the phone conversation, and I'm sincere when I say this now. I do believe Boogie is a good person. And if somewhere down the road, if I find out contrary to the point, if I find out that all of his detractors, if all of his, haters were correct, and he is just, this vile person that they believe that he is, if I find out that that's true, that is going to really make me sad. Because I think that I do believe he has a lot to offer. I think he's very entertaining, and I just think it would be sad. So anyway, let's see what some of you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see here. Boogie wants you to make videos on HIK, Riv, because he wants the attention. Oh, on him because he wants attention. Possibly, Joy. You may be right there. That was an opinion that several others shared with me as well. I don't know. Hey Abby, how you doing, hun? Assy 8030 is in the chat. Welcome in, buddy. Orson Wells, fair play, River. Cancer has gotten my family too on both sides. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. And Joy says Boogie is a bad person. That's my gut opinion. Well, Joy, you are an excellent poker player, and I know that your gut serves you well at the card table. And so, my friend, you may be right, and I may 100% be wrong. It would not be the first, and it undoubtedly will not be the last. I hope that I am wrong, but or I'm not wrong. I hope that I'm not wrong, and I hope you are. But only time will tell. And here's the thing, guys. I'm not naive. Uh, I may never ever have another conversation with Boogie ever again. And if I don't, well, that's fine too. I will be a little bit saddened um, because I did enjoy our conversation. I did enjoy our visit. And we even talked about possibly if I'm uh, able to get up. I don't travel a lot, but if I do happen to uh, make plans to travel up his neck of the woods, we are going to try, if schedules line up or whatever, try to meet somewhere publicly, and sit down and visit, face to face. And I hope that gets to happen. Um, so let's see here. Joy says, Rev, I honestly think you're wrong. He has shown time and time again that he is not only a bad person, but an awful person. Um, you know, I know, Joey, there's been some things that have happened, and I I don't know if that's him or if that is the results of some of the trauma and stuff that he was subjected to as a kid growing up. Um, and it could very well be that there is no separation between the two. I don't know. I am not I don't know, a psychologist or a therapist, so I don't know. And like I say, you may very well be right. I don't know. Um, let's see what else here. The Darnish Man, morning, folks. What did I miss? You missed a lot, and not that I don't think I'm gonna go back into to any more of it. But guys, that's pretty much my story with Boogie. I know that I think Dylan Dave is going to be on Twitch later on this evening. He's uh, this going to be up on your channel? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This stream will stay up on my channel. Um, like I said, I did have to take. I did, and like I say, I, I just like I said, I guess I would like to try to encourage you guys to maybe give uh, Boogie a chance. But if in the end of the day, if you guys are, um, if you guys have made your minds up, you made your minds up. It's not my place to dissuade you or get you to change your minds. That's not what I'm here for. But like I said, I know Dave is going to be on Twitch later on this evening. I'm not for sure who all else is going to be out there doing stuff this evening. But anyway, let's see the Danish. Cool. I'll make sure to catch the VOD then. Okay, fair enough. The Darnish Man, that darn Irishman. I'm sorry, that darn Irishman. I apologize. Sometimes my spectacles don't have sometimes a hard time seeing the tiny print. But anyway, listen, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you coming out and listening and hearing my story, I guess. I'm going to, like I say, I keep saying I'm going to try, and I do try. But a lot sometimes it's like like time I get off of work and then I'm trying to get things ready for Dave's streams and stuff. I don't necessarily have time to do a show on those days. But I am going to try to stream more. So just a real question. If I was to stream gameplay, like I do play Uh, yeah, I know I'm too nice. I know I'm too nice, Joey. I get told that all the time about, I'm too, I don't know. I'm too soft, I guess. But I feel like, there's enough hardness in this world. I feel like there's enough meanness in this world and just negativity. And while I know I cannot eradicate or prevent or stop a lot of it, if I can influence just a few people around me, and get them to be maybe a little bit softer on their edges, then I count that as a huge win. I don't have to have, I don't have to, I don't have to tear down mountains, and I don't have to, uh, you know, um, save people from themselves, I guess, necessarily. But if I can just get them to maybe, uh, ease their stances on a few things, whatever, then hey, I'm okay with that. Um, let's see. Joey says good show. I appreciate that. Zero says great show. Thank you. Zero says I'm not. I'm too nice. I get walked on over so much. I feel like a doormat. Um, I don't. That's it's kind of weird. I don't feel like I ever get walked over as a doormat. Have I been taken advantage of? Yes. But I will tell you this: if a person, if I ever get into a situation where I felt like someone's taking advantage of me, that's it. They get one shot and that's it. And then they can find out just how mean and nasty I can be, because, you know, underneath this soft exterior, there is a very, um, rough, rugged, rigid person that if you get on the bad side of that person, um, it usually doesn't, fare well for for him. It just doesn't. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, yeah, you see, that's why I like you. Well, I appreciate that. I would actually love to see you play classic WoW. You know what? Here's the thing, Joey. You said the one game that unfortunately you'll probably never ever see me play. Um, I gave way too much time and money to that game. I played it forever. I actually played, and I even not only that, but when the classic launched or relaunched or whatever, right? I leveled up, and I was such a glutton for punishment. I leveled up a priest of all things. I don't know if you, I don't know how many of you guys ever played classic WoW, but let me tell you something. There are there are two classes, three, I guess, really, in classic WoW that is an absolute pain to level. Uh, that's a warrior, a priest, and a paladin. A paladin doesn't have enough damage output to kill things very effectively, but it has some healing abilities, lower on. But the problem is they're not enough to matter for anything. A priest is the same thing. It has some damage output, but not just a whole lot. So when the classic WoW launched, me and my heterosexual life partner Tara uh, fired our accounts back up, and because he and I played WoW together probably in excess of 15 years. Yeah, I said at 15, 1 5. And he was leveling a warrior, and I leveled a priest. And so I did my best to try to keep him alive, and he tried to do his best to keep the mobs off of me. And we leveled and got to 60. And we actually did some raids. We did Molten Core, Onyxia, um, Ubers, Lower Blackrock Spire, all that, all the dungeons. And then we quit because this was like, we just didn't have the time for the grind. And But yeah, it's uh, uh, WoW's one of those games. It's a fun game to play, only if you have a group of friends to play with you, and I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of quit playing WoW, is because they made it way too easy to get parties to go do dungeons and do raids. You just joined LFG, and it took all of the focus off of building a community through a guild and planning out stuff and learning how to do the fights and the mobs and the different dungeons and raids. And it took the challenging aspect that if you didn't have that camaraderie of a group, um, or it just to me it just lost a lot of its luster, and so just quit playing because of that. Um, but anyway, uh, I may start doing some gaming streams, but if I do, honestly, I'll probably do it over on Twitch, on my Twitch channel. But I don't know. I do have some things in the plans. I'm not for sure exactly when it's going to come to fruition, but I am working with some stuff in the back with I said, my heterosexual life partner Tara, and we are going to start trying to do some gaming stuff together and do some streams and videos and stuff. But just his work schedule is just not being very conducive to that right now. So anyway, but listen, guys, I think Dead on Dave is going to be on Twitch here probably in a little while. So make sure to check him out. I think he's going to be playing some games and maybe even discussing. I don't know what shows on. I don't really follow wrestling, but I know wrestling's on tonight. I think he's going to be talking about it. But anyway, listen, I appreciate y'all. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I believe we're doing a show Saturday with Dead on Dave, so make sure and check that out. Clear as Mud podcast Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Banana is currently, I think, en route, or maybe he's landed. I'm not for sure, but he's headed over across the pond. Him and Joey Westside are going to hang out and drink a few beers, and who knows what kind of trouble they're going to get into. I'm confused. Why are you saying heterosexual partner? It's a joke. If you ever watched, what is it, Clerks, and you have what's his name? It's totally skipping. Anyway, the two dudes are selling pot out front. Kevin Smith and Jay, Jay and Silent Bob, right? He introduces Silent Bob as his heterosexual life partner because they've just been together forever. They are, and it's just a joke. Anyway, yeah, I know it's a long description. Well, that's why Peepaw is Peepaw. He takes forever to tell a story. And that's why some people get really agitated at me because it takes me forever to tell a story. But just like this, I've been trying to wrap this stream up for about 15 minutes now. Kristen Ark will be joining me on the Clear as Mud podcast, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday here on the YouTube. Make sure if you're not subbed over there, sub here. Check us out. Watch my Twitter feed at Riverter for that. Announcements and stuff. Excited about that because, like I said, Banana's going over to. He's en route to go to London to hang out with Tommy C and Joey Westside, and I don't know who all is over there. It's just like a little mini Comic-Con or something. I don't know, Nerdicon, whatever it is. They're going to go hang out and drink beer and play poker and get into all kind of I don't know, mishaps. I just asked him to take lots of pictures and videos and stuff so that when he comes back, he can regale us with stories, and we'll have video and pictures and stuff. So hopefully he doesn't get too drunk, and we'll be able to remember all that stuff. So anyway, and I guess that'll conclude it, man. Thanks again, chat, for being here. I appreciate you. You take it easy, and I will see you Sunday.
Sky is falling and bills are due. At least I'm stuck right here with you. Cause no amount of money in this world would suffice if you weren't right here by my side, whispering that we'll be alright.